Greeting students, welcome to my class. I hope that you all are fit and fine, and I hope the same for your family members too. Students, in the previous class we completed the first part of the story, the 100 dresses. Part 1 we completed. I gave you the brief summary of that first part, and I discussed the chapter in detail with you, the first part in detail with you. We did the oral comprehension questions also, I discussed with you, and I gave you two there are four textbook question in the part 1, and I discussed two questions answers with you, and I gave you two questions answers to do it yourselves. I hope that you all must have done those two questions. Now students, before we start the second part, I would like to tell you that this story, the part 1, what we read, we read that this story is about a Polish girl, Wanda Petronsky, who is very good, she is very good at drawing, making drawings. She's a very good artist, but nobody knew. She used to come very far. She was an immigrant whose family came to America to live, and she took admission in the school where all the other students are American, and she was an immigrant Polish girl. Her name was long. Other students' names were very small, so they found her name very unusual and strange and weird, so they started making fun of her. And she used to sit on the last bench because she used to come by walking from very far. Bogin side was very far, and there were two best friends, Peggy, who was the most popular girl in the class, and Maddie, her best friend. They both used to tease her, but especially Peggy, who always used to ask Wanda about how many dresses she has, and Wanda used to reply that she has 100 dresses all lined up in her closet. But on the this was contrary, this was very contrast, because all the students, Peggy and Maddie themselves, they always they had seen Wanda wearing only one blue faded dress, which was shabby but neat and clean, but it was blue, but it was faded and it was quite old. So they used to tease her, though Maddie, she did not like Wanda when she did not like Peggy making fun of Wanda, teasing her, but she couldn't gather the courage because she thought that she would lose her friend, and she imagined that what would happen if she would be the next target. And there was a drawing competition, which Maddie thought that Peggy would win because she was a better painter than all of them. That's what everybody used to think. And when on the result day, the secret of Wanda telling that I have 100 dresses, that also came out, and it was a shock for everyone when the Mrs. Mason, the class in charge, announced that Wanda is the winner in girls category, and the whole classroom was filled up with the beautiful 100 dresses, paintings of beautiful 100 dresses, and all lined up. So, and Wanda was absent that day also, and they came to know, Peggy and Maddie, they came to know that Wanda is a fantastic, very talented girl, very talented artist, and they felt sorry for their behavior. Up to here we read in the first part. Now the story of the second part continues. I would like to give you a brief summary of the second part, my dear student. The story continues with the scene where all the students of room number 13 were looking at the beautiful drawings made by Wanda Petronsky. At the same moment, the monitor from principal office comes in the room and hands over one note to Mrs. Mason, Miss Mason, who is the class in charge of room number 13. It was a note from Wanda Petronsky's father mentioning that his two children, Wanda Petronsky and Wanda Petronsky's brother, they will no longer coming to school because they have left the school, and they were moving to a big city of America, where the father was saying, father continues to say that they are moving to a big city of America where people would not judge her daughter and her son on her names, on their names, where they would not make fun of her daughter, they would not tease her daughter, and they would not judge her daughter just because of she has a long name. Mrs. Mason was left shocked after reading that note from Wanda Petronsky's father. And Peggy and Maddie felt bad, but Peggy didn't seem to affected from it, but Maddie was deeply affected by this note from Wanda Petronsky's father, and she immediately she immediately thought of apologizing to Wanda for their misbehavior with her, for teasing her, for making fun of her. And she decided to go to her house, and at the same time, when she was thinking all this thing, Peggy said the same thing, let's go to Wanda's house and say sorry. Then Peggy and Maddie, they both went to Bogin's side in the hope that the Petronskys had not left or had not moved yet. But to their dismay, when they reached to Bogin's house, they did not find anyone there. The house, there was no sign of life in and around the house. Peggy said that it's okay, we came to say sorry here, but they are not here, what can we do? But Maddie lost her sleep. It really affected Maddie that she couldn't say sorry to Wanda. She couldn't say that it's okay, we are with you, nobody would be teasing you now in the school, now don't leave the town. She wanted to say all these things to Wanda, but she couldn't. That's why she lost her sleep in thinking that what a coward person is she, who could not gather courage to stand or to raise her voice against the wrong thing which was going on with Wanda. And while she was thinking all these things, she came to a conclusion, and she decided that from now onwards she would not let this thing happen with anyone else in the future. She decided that. In the same weekend, Peggy and Maddie wrote a letter to Wanda, which was supposed to be an apology letter, where they will say sorry for their behavior to Wanda, but it ended up in a friendly letter which was asking to Wanda that did she like her new place, classroom, city, town, surroundings, etc. And they posted it, and they were hoping that Wanda would reply, but weeks passed away, there was no reply from Wanda. They thought Wanda is right at her place, because what they did to her after that, if she is not replying, that's fine, that is okay, because she was so furious with them. She would be so furious with them, that's why she did not reply. But Christmas of weeks passed, there was no reply until one day before Christmas, means Christmas was about to come, and not 1 day, 2-3 days before, or maybe Christmas was about to come, and Mrs. Mason got a letter from Wanda Petronsky, and she told the class that I have got the letter from Wanda Petronsky, and she writes that she misses everyone. She misses the class, she misses the class in charge, schoolyard, and all the students, especially Peggy and Maddie. And she also mentions that she wants to gift one of the green dress painting out of her 100 paintings in the classroom. She wants to gift one green dress to Peggy, and the another blue dress to green dress painting to Peggy, and blue dress painting to Maddie. And she mentions that they can keep these two paintings with themselves. So Peggy and Maggie were very happy that Wanda wants to gift paintings to them. They took the painting with them, and when at home, while Maddie was staring at the painting, and she was really feeling bad, crying also. And then she realized, when she was staring, gazing, she realized, when she looked towards the face of the painting, she realized that it was her face drawn by Vanda. And she realized, yes, it was her face. Then she went to Peggy and asked, and saw that it was Peggy's face on that green dress, green drawing or green painting. It was Peggy's face. So Vanda actually drawn their faces on those two paintings, and then thus both the girls concluded that Vanda did like them. So student, this was the brief summary of the 100 dresses part 2, which is also written by Eleanor Esther. Now in this video, that is it. We will continue the explanation of the part 2 in the next video. Thank you.